My name's Adam Figuration, and I'm going to do my anesthesia machine check. So I'm going to come up to my machine, make sure I have a separate oxygen container in the OR, a way I can turn it on, a meter on it, and the key, the way to turn it on. I'm going to come to the back of my machine, and I'm going to look for essential supply pipeline of gases leading up into my machine, and an oxygen tank on the back of my machine currently turned off. I'm going to turn on my machine, or my oxygen tank in the back. Look for greater than 1,000 psi in the oxygen tank and 50 psi in the oxygen central pipeline. So those all look good. I'm going to turn off my oxygen tank. I'm going to look for my supplies on my machine, my BVM, my monitoring devices, SpO2, my blood pressure cuff, and EKG. Going to look for suction on my machine. It's adequate. Make sure everything's turned off, all the gases. Don't want to accidentally bust a Thorpe tube. Everything looks good. Make sure that my vaporizers as well are filled to the right way, right capacity. Fill those if not. So with this bulb, I'm going to make sure that it doesn't inflate within 10 seconds. Looks good. Make sure that it doesn't inflate within 10 seconds. Looks good. Individually turn on my vaporizers. Do the same process. Make sure it doesn't inflate within 10 seconds. Looks good. Next vaporizer, turn that on. Same thing. Doesn't inflate. Looks good. Next thing I'm going to do is turn on my anesthesia machine. Make sure we're connected into the right ports. I got a backup battery. Turn on my monitoring devices. Check out my SpO2, make sure I got a good waveform reading. Got my alarms set. And everything is set up the way I want it to be. So now I'm going to check my scavenging system, and the ball is within the green. My CO2 absorbers, lack of color and presence of humidification. Turn on my gas. Try to create a hypoxic mixture. Everything's flowing and functioning. So now I'm going to calibrate my oxygen. Open it up to room air. Calibrate 21%. Once that's done, put the cap back on. Do it to 100%. Give it a flush. I want a reading of greater than 90%, looks good. Next thing I'm going to do, check the integrity of my circuit. And got good connections there. Everything looks good. Well, I got this right here. Some people may blow into this to check the O2 analyzer. Looks good on there. So now I'm going to do my high pressure system. Set it. I'm gonna make sure that my APL valve is closed. Fill to 30 centimeters of water. Make sure that the pin doesn't move, just remain stagnant for 10 seconds. Open up the APL valve and my pressure should drop. Looks good. Now I'm going to set the parameters on my vent again, switch over to vent mode. Fill my bellows. Making sure it's expanding and collapsing as appropriate, delivering the correct tidal volume that I have set. My inspiratory expiratory valves are functioning as they should. Turn on a little bit of flow. Manually collapse the bag to simulate breaths. Looks good. Keep my APL valve open. And just once again run through my alarms, making sure they're on, and turn all my gases off. Vaporizers are all off. And turn off my machine and make sure that the APL valve is still open, and making sure my oxygen is off in the back. On my tank, oxygen tank is off, but central supply is good, and document.